Hey guys, what's up? It's JRCuber. In this video, we have an unboxing from Ogre Cubes on Instagram and YouTube. In here are a couple custom puzzles that he made that he wanted me to check out. They really piqued my interest, so I decided to check them out and show them to you guys. As you guys can see, he drew my logo and his logo on here. He also said to open from this side and not to cut in too deep. So I'm gonna go ahead and be very, very careful here. Alright, so here we go. We got a bit of a business card from him. So here you can see his Instagram and Facebook and then YouTube URL down there. We also got a sticker of his logo. You kind of can't really see that, but there you go. And then we also got some more smaller type logos. And we also got a letter. So the letter says, "Dear JRCuber, thank you so much for wanting to make a video on my Penrose 9x9. And the green bubble wrap is the Penrose 9x9 and the yellow bubble wrap is a thank you gift for making a video on my mod. My channel is Ogre Cube and the link is right there. The Deathstar cube thing I made about a year ago out of a Shengshou 3x3. The laser is a Lego piece from a minifigure's lightsaber. I don't really remember much about making it. I made the Penrose 9x9 out of a Shengshou 9x9. I started by marking out what material I wanted to get rid of with a Sharpie. I used my belt sander I got for Christmas to sand down to the lines. I didn't use a saw because I didn't want to accidentally cut too far, wreck pieces, or cause the cube to pop. By doing this, many of the pieces filled up with the melted plastic, causing the pieces to stick together. After cleaning all the pieces out, I filled them with epoxy sculpt, then stuck them into the oven at 200 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. I then painfully sanded each piece so they would fit together. After putting it together for the first time, I went back to my belt sander to create a final shape. I then took it apart and even more painfully finished each piece using 120 grit sandpaper and green Scotch-Brite. Painting was easy. I used a black spray paint for car interiors. It bonds to plastic pretty well. I then cut stickers. I used a vinyl cutting machine to cut most of the stickers and cut the rest by hand. I hope you enjoy playing with it and make sure to let everyone know that it is for sale. So he is selling this puzzle. You can contact him there. So yeah, that is basically the process of making the Penrose 9x9, which is what is in here. So this is the other puzzle that he sent. He had to send it disassembled because there wasn't quite enough space in the box. So I'm going to put this together in a little bit and show you guys that. But what I really want to check out here is the actual mod. Looks like we got something else here. Aha, so this is just a little bonus thing, a 1x1 Megaminx. I'm pretty sure this is actually handmade. That looks very well done. Alright, so here is the puzzle. It feels very heavy, very, very full of epoxy sculpt. So let's go ahead and check it out. Alright, here it is. Looks like we lost a center cap. That's not a big deal. So actually this center does not want to go on at all. I think this screw might be... Oh yeah, this screw is really, really loose. So I'm going to just be careful with this and see if I can tighten that screw down anymore to the point where I can get this center cap on. But yeah, here we have a stand as well, which is colored with the colors of this puzzle, which as you can see are white, blue, and orange. And here is the puzzle. This is the Penrose 9x9. Wow, this looks awesome. Wow, he did a really, really amazing job with this mod. I think it turned out really great. Yeah, this is super, super cool. So there you go. There you can kind of get a look from the standard Penrose cube type view. So if you guys haven't heard of the Penrose cube, I've unboxed a couple of them at this point, the 3x3 versions. Basically, it's just a 3x3 that has rounded edges in 3 different locations to make it look like this. And it looks really, really awesome. So just to compare it to the other Penrose cubes I have, here is the mass-produced 3x3 version. It looks like this. And then here is the one that I got from Nathan Wilson. So we can kind of line this up here like that. And you can see it actually has the same colors as well. Yeah, that is really, really cool. I really like the Olsing patterns here. This looks really cool. This is pretty much the same kind of pattern you get when you make a 9x9 barrel, because basically this is a 9x9 barrel that just has everything barreled except for one final corner section. So if you kind of turn it up here, you can see how you get that full barrel shape there. But let's just go ahead and test out the movement. So it moves really well, just as well as the standard Shengshou 9x9. Yeah, it moves really great. So it's interesting with these super Olsed pieces. When you turn it up here, you can really see a fair bit of the mechanism. of those centers, and then if you just turn up this side, you can see all of the cavities there and all the pieces, and you can really see pretty far down into the actual mechanism of the puzzle, which I think is really cool. I never made a 9x9 barrel. I did kind of want, at one point I did kind of want to go through and do a whole barrel series and build every single one. But after I made the 10x10, I didn't want to go through the work of doing a barrel for every single layer. I just knew that would be way too tricky and would take too much time. But yeah, this is a really, really awesome puzzle. I'm going to go ahead and go through a checkerboard pattern actually. I want to see what it'll look like. So, here we go. So yeah, this is something that I've been doing quite a bit recently, as you guys see, but just featuring mods on my channel. Now, this puzzle, obviously, I'm not keeping it because he mentioned that it was for sale, so I'm going to be sending this back to him, but I still wanted to check it out just to show it to you guys, and that's something that I really want to do more of as well. Just getting cool mods from people to not just show off the puzzles, but also promote their channel a bit, and just kind of show off some mods from more, I guess, amateur modders, and not just the professional people like Tripoom and stuff like that, and Nathan. So yeah, let me know if you guys want to see more of these types of videos of just me showing off cool mods, because I would definitely love to do more of them. Anyway, here is the checkerboard pattern. I think it looks really, really awesome. You do get more of a kind of full cube shape on this one when you do the checkerboard. But yeah, that is really, really cool. So alignment on this puzzle is not too terribly bad. It's not super easy though, so I am gonna have to be very, very careful not to pop anything, because these pieces are really small, and I think these would have a pretty good tendency to pop if I'm not careful. I do want to go ahead and tighten up the center though. Alright, so I tightened up that center a whole bunch, and it still moves just as well, so it was just really, really loose. But yeah, now I can actually get that center cap on. So yeah, what I also want to do now is go ahead and assemble the other puzzle that he sent and show you guys that as well. Alright, so here we go. Here is the other puzzle. So this is the Deathstar cube, as you can see. So this is basically just a standard 3x3 on this side with just a grayscale type color scheme. And then on this side, you can see that there's been this kind of hollow part cut out, and you can see this laser right here, which obviously is kind of just supposed to resemble the Death Star a bit from Star Wars. And then you can see you have the super chrome stickers here, and some slightly darker shades here, a slightly lighter, kind of more silvery type shade. So I think, interestingly, with this one, the challenge of the colors is going to be tricky enough, because you have the grayscale scheme, but then you have this little bit added onto it, and you can see that there's just this one corner here with this part that's added on. That corner has been cut down super, super far, and this piece has just been glued on. Yeah, I think it looks really cool. It's a very interesting idea, something I'd never really thought of before. But yeah, he said basically this was just a gift for allowing me to show the Penrose 9x9 on my channel, which is very, very nice of him. So thank you very much for this little gift. Very, very cool idea. I think it's really awesome. Anyways, back to the 9x9 here. I don't really have a whole lot more to say about it, but yeah, overall, the build quality of this puzzle is really awesome. The puzzle itself is really awesome. I really, really like the idea of higher order Penrose cubes, but I think a whole line of N×N×N Penrose cubes would be really, really cool as well. Anyways, I think it is about time to scramble this puzzle up. I don't think it's going to be that tricky to solve because it's really just 3 rows of centers that are not flat, and everything else is just normal. I'm thinking it's actually going to be relatively simple because we're going to have 2 centers with the same colors on it, so you have more of the same pieces kind of to draw from. I don't know if that's going to cause any kind of hidden parity or something like that, where you have centers that are swapped around or anything like that. I'm not really sure. It looks like we might have some identical edges as well, but either way, I'm excited to just see if I can solve it. So let's go ahead and scramble it up. This is going to get pretty shape-shifted. So here we go. Alright, so there we go. That looks like a pretty good scramble to me, and I actually just really, really like the way it looks scrambled just with the 3 colors. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and solve this puzzle on camera. It shouldn't take all that long, so let's just go ahead and get started. I think we will go ahead and start by solving the 2 white centers first. Alright, so there we go. We got the first two centers done here. So we got the two white centers done. So now I think we'll go ahead and maybe do blue next. Yeah. Alright, so now we got the two blue centers done. So to do the orange centers, I think I'm going to do a little bit of a different approach that's going to make it a bit easier. So on one of the sides, I'm going to solve all of the curved pieces. And once I solve all the curved pieces, all the flat pieces will just automatically be solved on the other side. And then I can just switch around one section of curved pieces with one section of flat pieces, and I'll have the two solved faces. That way I don't have to mess with any commutators and stuff like that. It'll just be a whole lot simpler. Okay, so there we go. Now we have the curved side done and the flat side done. So just to finish this off, we can just turn that around like that. And there we go. There we have our two centers, our last two centers done. Simple as that. Okay, so all of our centers are done now. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to edge pairing now. Alright, so we've got the first 8 edges done, so now we just have to finish up these last 4 edges, and then we can solve it like a normal Penrose cube. Alright, we are now just down to the last 2 edges, and since the last edge is going to be one of these ones that's just one color, we hopefully shouldn't have any kind of parity. Now what I don't know is whether or not we'll get parity in the 3x3 stage. We might, and I might have to figure out how to fix that later on. But for now, finishing off these edges is pretty simple. So we can just insert the last piece right in here. Alright, so there we go. We have reduced the cube now, so let's go ahead and solve it like a normal Penrose cube, and hopefully we don't get any parity. Okay, so as it turns out, I actually solved some of those edges kind of wrong. So I didn't really know the way the edges were supposed to look when they were solved, so I just kind of guessed. But now that all of the colors are kind of paired up, I was able to put them in their respective spots and see if they fit up. And it turns out that some of them didn't, so I had to kind of fix those and switch them around with other pieces. But now all of the edges are solved, so now we can finally solve it like a Penrose cube and finish this thing out. So it looks as though we are at the last step, and just these two corners need to be flipped. So I'm trying to figure out a way to fix this. Basically, this happens because two edges are flipped around, basically. So I have to figure out how to switch around some edge pieces and see if I can fix this parity. Alright, so I've got everything else solved except this one center that needs to be rotated like 90 degrees. So what I think I'm going to go ahead and try and do is use some commutators to move around blocks of centers to see if I can solve this. So let's go ahead and try that now. Alright, so my camera cut out right at the very end there because my SD card filled up, but here we go. I solved the puzzle. That took about 2 hours actually. That was quite a long solve, much more difficult than I had imagined. I was kind of racking my brain for a little while at the end there trying to figure out how to solve that parity till I realized that I could just move around some centers to fix that up. But yeah, the puzzle is solved now. Overall, the solve wasn't too bad, and the turning was decent throughout the solve. I did get a couple of pops, and overall I kind of wish wish I had been able to move the cube a little bit faster, but I knew that I had to be kind of gentle with it because I was getting those pops when I did try to go faster, so I was kind of having to slow down pretty often. But that's all right. The cube is still quite a fun time to solve. So anyways, that is about it for the video on the Penrose 9x9 along with the Deathstar cube, and we can also throw in this little 1x1 Mega Minx here, and then he also sent this stand. So yeah, big thanks again to Ogre Cubes for sending me these puzzles to check out. Links, of course, to his social media and his YouTube channel will be down in the description below. And yeah, that is about it for this video. So if you guys like this video, make sure you go to like. Links to all of my social media pages and my merch store will be linked down in the description below as always. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.